What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to Reality Pill. Today, we are going to react to another Kevin Samuels video. Before we get into it, make sure you guys like and subscribe.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Are you do you have any children?
Yes, I have two twin boys.
Two, so you got 4 kids?
No, I'm sorry. I have two boys. They're twins.
Okay. Were you married to their father?
No,
Okay.
I am not.
How old are you?
I'm 25 years old. I'll be 26 next month.
Oh, how old are your boys?
They're 7 years old.
You got pregnant at 18.
Yes.
All right. So what's the question you have for me?
Um, I heard you say earlier that my chances of getting a high value man are kind of slim to none because I have kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't agree, but I agree. But like,
Okay.
I
Okay. How many high value men are trying to marry you right now?
none because I haven't even ran into any, but that's what I'm looking for.
Okay. So how can you say you don't agree? But what are you basing it on?
I mean, I'm sorry, what was that?
What are you basing your disagreement with me on?
Because I feel like I can still meet someone that's high value.
Yes, you can meet them.
Mm-hmm.
See, you notice how you ladies, you all talk in these things called feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I feel. See, men don't feel. We think and we know.
Okay.
You can first off, you're saying you disagree with me. And then
Let me take that
listen. You say
okay.
you have you don't well, that's what you say. You say you disagree with me. Then in the next breath, you say you don't know any high value men. And I know they're my clients. And I've been dealing with it in my entire career, and I am one. So I have an entire group full of them. Who is more qualified to discuss high value men? Your feelings or my lived experience and knowledge?
Most likely you.
Most likely.
Yes.
Most likely?
It's you.
Why do black women have such a hard time just saying you know something, brother? All right.
That's a very good point. Can't just give them the credit. But yeah, I can't believe this is how we're starting off the conversation. This woman is coming in the show telling Kevin that I don't agree with your message. And typically, people would just go with their own anecdotal experience. Well, guess what, Kevin? I know a woman around town and she got married having 5 different children and she married a man making over $500,000 a year. What do you have to say about that? Or I've done it myself. This woman doesn't know anyone who's done it. This woman hasn't done it herself, but she's disagreeing with him and saying, I disagree with you. For what? Because she feels like she can go find a high value man. How does it doesn't even make any sense? Zero sense. For you to even disagree with someone, at least come in with an anecdotal experience, something you've seen or something you've actually done yourself. But her feelings, even though she hasn't done it yet, her feelings are the reason why she disagrees with him and doesn't believe this is true.
But then you're still saying, I feel like I can meet them. Okay. Why do you want a high value man?
Because they're more stable. I'm only 25, so I deal with people, boys my age. So they're not stable yet.
You want their money.
Yes.
Right. Okay, that's cool.
Yes.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
What dress size?
A 7.
That's odd. And how much did you weigh last time you weighed?
130.
And if you had to rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, your face only, can't use 7, what would you be?
I'd say an 8.
Okay, cam up. You know what? You know
okay,
what?
we can cam up.
You
we
know,
can cam up.
You can cam up. Go ahead. Because here's the thing. What are you doing? Are you back there? You on the truck somewhere?
No, I'm actually at work. So I don't couldn't you go on my Instagram because I'm at work. I have my Mace mask on.
Yeah. What's your Instagram? Well, type it in. Let me here. Don't say it out loud. Let me
Okay.
Let me open up the chat room, and then you can send it to me in the chat room.
Okay.
But let me just say this. Okay, you want a high value man because of money. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, but what is he going to get from you? Mm-hmm.
Whatever he wants.
See, so again, listen to what you're saying. Kevin, I don't know any high value men in my day to day life. I've never met them, but I feel like I could get one because I can meet them. But when I meet them, I don't even know what they want, and so I don't even know what I can offer them.
That's true.
And at the end of the day, this desire for a high value man is selfish. It's all about you. It's because you want somebody to take care of you. And
That's exactly what it is. This woman doesn't really want to do anything. And at least, you're going into something trying to achieve something. Like, for example, let's just take this high value talk at school. If you really want something, you know that you would have to learn about this. You'd have to study. You'd even quiz yourself. You'd put yourself through a tedious regimen. You're consumed by this because you want this outcome. Women would do it for school, but when it comes to actually getting a man and getting those outcomes for the type of man they want, they won't do even half the work. They don't care about what he wants, and they don't care to figure it out. They just want the outcomes.
And then take care of your kids. Where their daddy at?
Their dad is around. He actually gets his kids a lot.
Well,
he's in their life.
But why weren't you guys married?
We were young and we just didn't work out.
Okay, but see, ma'am, that can't work. Does he have any other children?
No.
Is he married?
No.
Then you better go back to your ex-husband. Go back to your broken family. You are young.
No.
Okay, ma'am. Well, if you don't, ma'am, here's what you got. Nothing. You're 18 years old. You didn't go to college.
Mm-hmm.
You have nothing. You have no skills. At best, you might be cute.
Well, I work.
Oh, listen. See, you called me.
Mm-hmm.
Then you want to tell me why I'm wrong, but I'm telling you, I run into women like you all the time. You may work. So what? Everybody works.
Right.
You're not rich. You're a high school graduate. Do you make $100,000 a year?
Half.
Okay. With 2 kids, you're broke.
Yeah, you're right.
I know. So you basically are telling a high value man who had to go out there and do all this stuff, hey, you can have sex with me and I'll do whatever you want. Take care of me and my kids. Okay. But you better be able to make that appealing. And what can you offer, ma'am? You weren't even married to a man. You have no history of taking care of a man. Y'all talk about high value men like they're a pair of shoes. And when I say go back to your ex, you say no. Well, ma'am, you made babies with him.
Yeah, but I was young. I feel like that's not fair. I was very young. We all make mistakes.
What? Oh, man. I feel like that's not fair. We all make mistakes. To the 2 children that are going to grow up and sadly have to watch this, apologies in advance. Apologies in advance. This is absolutely ridiculous. I feel like that's not fair. Okay.
That was pathetic.
Say that again.
I said I feel like that's not fair because we all make mistakes. and I was young, and now I'm older.
You're 25 years old, and you feel like that's not fair, ma'am. You sound like a
What?
Bitch, if you want a burger,
Bitch, a burger?
eat a burger. Bitch, if you
Yeah.
want a french fry,
Bitch, a french fry?
eat a french fry.
I mean, seriously, ma'am. I feel like that's not fair. That's not something an adult says. See, you made a you better okay. What does your ex do? That's what I thought. Uh-huh. See, guys, what does your ex do?
He works at GM.
GM. And what's so bad
Yes.
about him?
It's a lot inner issues like with him. Like he's just angry. He can get abusive.
Uh-huh. But you had 2 babies with him.
Yes, and that was before I was young.
Okay,
That
you're
was
still
before I
young,
even
ma'am.
knew
You're
him.
still young, ma'am. Here's the thing.
I know.
You're still young, and you, obviously your father's not in your life. No.
He is, but he's not. Yeah,
No, he's
he
not.
could be in my life more.
Well, he's not in your life to the where do you listen to anybody?
Right.
So I'm trying to be as nice as possible, man, but high value men are not an insurance policy. They're not a get out of jail free card.
Mm-hmm.
They're none of this stuff. I mean, I don't know if that's your IG. I don't see that. So twinning, you got nothing, young lady, because you had children. High value men, a man. You need a man, period. See, can I give you a hard truth?
Yeah.
You are in no position to be picky.
Because I have kids. I have a house. I own a house. I have a good job. I have a career.
Ma'am, what do you okay, let's go down that path. What is your highest level of education?
It is high school. You said it earlier.
Okay. And the home you have, who purchased it?
Me.
How?
I was in a first time home buyer.
You own your home outright.
I'm paying mortgage on it.
You don't own a home. How long is your mortgage?
30 years.
Right.
Exactly. So at any point in time, you don't pay that mortgage. From now until the 30 years, they are liable to take it back if you can't pay. So essentially, you don't own the home. That is a fact. Right? We can all agree to that, right? In the comment section, let me know that she doesn't own this home. This home has a mortgage. After she pays it off, she then owns it. That's hers after she pays it off. But let's even go back to our other point. If you have a home and this is so good and everything is so rainbows, sunshines, and butterflies, why haven't you found the high value man to move into said home? Since all these things are so appealing in your perspective, why hasn't the man that she wants accepted this deal?
And you've had it for how long?
I just got it, I think in September.
You don't own a home. You have a 30-year bill. Let's go on to the next thing. You said you have a car?
Yes, I have a car and a job.
Okay. What kind of car do you have?
A Jeep.
More specific, please. What year?
2019 Renegade.
And how much are your car payments?
$300.
And what do you do at your job?
I'm a mail handler. I work at the post office.
Right. You have a government job. You're the largest employers of Black women in the federal government and retail. you are suspect to be let go because the post office is in catastrophic trouble. You have nothing. And they are in no position to be picky. See, this is one of the problems with our women. You think because you got a mortgage that you don't even have you can't afford to live, ma'am. You have no money saved up. You're just living paycheck to paycheck. You need a man to help you not. And the thing is, you got too much attitude. You act like you're doing somebody a favor. I mean, this is not. It's not.
I don't think I have attitude.
Well, but here's the thing. I'm telling you, dude, and I'm trying to be polite for the audience because people can hear that I'm talking to a young lady who is very emotionally immature. It's like I'm talking to a high schooler. And oftentimes when people have a trauma in their life, that's where they emotionally stop developing. You had your children, you got pregnant at 17?
Yes.
And that's probably where you stopped emotionally developing. And you have 2 boys you're raising. Your priority needs to be to make sure that they get a good start in life. I'm telling you, ma'am, you need a man, and their father's gonna be the best one, because here's the thing: you could be cute, you could be a side chick or whatever. Dudes will come by and hit it, but as far as wifing you up and putting a ring on it, no, ma'am, that's not gonna happen. You got all this debt. You got 2 growing boys, a 30-year mortgage, a car payment, and a job at the post office. Why would a high value man with a career and nothing but upside go buy that? That's just a big bill.
Even if he doesn't have to worry about the bills, I mean, okay, I understand.
He doesn't have to worry about bills either. See, what you're trying to do is trying to make your bad decisions work. And you had children at too young of an age. And that's the reality. I said, go back to your ex. And you're like, no. Well, he's the only one that has anything in this with you. And I'm going to be telling a lot of women this. You shouldn't have had kids with a dude you didn't want to marry. It ain't about you being happy, ma'am. It's about you getting your life stable. Because let me tell you right now, if in 3 months they said we're closing down, we're shuttering postal because of COVID, because of this, because of that, because the post office has been in trouble for years.
Right.
What job could you get on the open market?
Nothing as good as this.
No, but I need you to answer that question.
What I couldn't get a job.
What? Yeah, you could, but what jobs would you be qualified for?
Like Walmart, like grocery stores, food places.
And how much do they pay an hour?
I don't even know.
Ma'am,
12?
It's not. I mean, I'm doing this. It's not a laughing matter. It's not a laughing matter. They pay minimum wage. Minimum wage is roughly, depending on where you are, minimum wage in this country is right about what state are you in?
New York.
Oh, Jesus. New York City?
No.
Upstate New York?
Yes.
Still, you are not in control of anything.
So what is your advice to me? Just
I've already given it to you.
I mean,
I've already given it to you.
So go be back with my kid's father.
Yeah, because it sounds like you're broke and he's broke. Y'all can be broke together and raise y'all's kids.
Man, Kevin is hilarious. Like, both of y'all broke. At least put some of that broke money together. Y'all may actually come up with something. But it's a good point. You can't have this much contempt and hatred for the person that you decided that you wanted to make a child with. Because if that was the case, then why bring a child into it? You guys just being married and just divorcing, okay, we still wouldn't want that, but at least that's something. You then bring a child into it. Come on.
Because honestly, ma'am, you think, okay, let's use your words. You think it's fair to go drop your messed up life on somebody else and let them pay your bills? That's not fair to anybody else.
I'm really not asking nobody.
Yes,
to
you
pay my
are.
bills.
See, yes, you are. Those 2 boys are bills. Your mortgage is a bill.
And I've been handling it.
Okay, ma'am, you've already asked me, and I'm not going to argue with you. See, this is what I mean. You can't even accept it. This is.
I accept it. I hear what you're saying.
You messed up your life, lady, and I'm telling you, that's okay. Stop digging. Get out of your ego. Get out of your ego. You're talking like you're gorgeous, and you can just go.
I mean, no, I'm not.
I know.
Okay.
And you're talking about, I feel like I'm gonna be a high value man. I don't know. I mean, that's why I said therapy is needed, because you're suffering from some self-imposed delusions. Get off social media. Stop all this young life living, because you got 2 kids at 18. You don't have time for this silliness.
And what are you talking about? The silliness?
Because the way you're talking, I mean, it's not fair, this or that. Look, ma'am, you got pregnant at 17. Sorry. That's your life. It's about getting those boys into their lives and making something out of the rest of it. I don't know why you picked the man you picked, but either you get him, because the way you're going right now, as soon as those boys are job age, you're gonna be having them boys out working. As soon as they 16 years old, you're gonna be like, you need to go get a job and pay some bills in this house. Oh, you didn't even say no, because you know I'm right.
Yeah, you probably are right.
What? This is what am I watching? I am flabbergasted right now. I am perplexed. I cannot believe what I'm watching right now. This woman is going to really sit here and say, yeah, you're probably right. I probably will tell my child as soon as he can work, whatever age that is, 15, 16, as soon as he's able to work, the closest age, he's going to go ahead and get a job, and he's going to be paying some of these bills with me. And that be the child, or those children will be the children that grows older and resent their mother. Oh, I've been working since I was 16. My mom always made me pay bills, but guess what happens? That mother accepts the bills for a little bit. She starts asking for more and more and more and more and more. The child is trying to sit there and say, I'm trying to save. I'm trying to enjoy myself. I want to be a teenager. I want to enjoy my money as a teenager. I'm making all these sacrifices. Then they get kicked out of the house at a young age. Then they're out in the world, figuring it all out, barely speaking to mom. Sad story. It's a sad story. It really is a sad story, because you see it over and over again. He goes on with his life. He has a wife. He has kids. He treats them differently. Everybody's worried about the mother now, because now she's lonely. She's crying. She's calling more. She's wondering why he isn't coming over. Partner after partner after partner. And then what? Like Kevin say, die alone. It's really sad.
And that's fucked up. You're gonna take their childhood from them. Let's go there. You're one of these kind of women that will make their kids feel guilty because you fucked your life up. You need to take care of your mama. I had you when I was listen.
My mom didn't make me do that.
I'm trying to be nice to you, lady, but you're just too far.
Let me know if you can hear me. Okay.
I can.
Okay, great. First of all, thank you for all that you do. Thank you for this show. I am a fat Black baby mama.
Okay.
And I'm working like my hair is on fire. I found out about all this too late, and I am working like you advise the women who want a high value, high earning man just to get the better quality of men that typically are drawn to women like me. So I appreciate this opportunity to chat with you wholeheartedly. I grew up in high poverty, low income, fatherless neighborhoods.
Okay.
And because of it, I went through a period of really just eating my feelings. So I know you're gonna ask, how'd you get all that weight on you? Eating my feelings. Very early.
Well, I mean, there's really only one way you can get weight on you. Like it's by calorie intake. No one can just stand there being a normal person and just gain weight. Like we know how you got there.
How old are you?
My mom realized that I could be.
How old are you?
I'm 33.
All right. So what do
33.
you want to get out of? So what? Okay. So the outcome you want to achieve from this show, this conversation is what? What is you trying to? What's the outcome you're trying to achieve?
I'm on a path now that not many people agree with, and I guess just I'm listening to your show, just some reassurance, your opinion on the potential success of all of this, or
what do you want?
I'm going to keep going.
What do you want? I don't know what all this means.
I want to be married in the next 2 to 3 years. I would love to not have to pay significant bills, but there's a probability that I may have to pay some of the bills.
How many children do you have?
I am a mom of one.
Okay. And where did you go to college?
I graduated from college.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an IT manager.
At 33, do you want to have any more children?
I would like to become either a stepmom or have at least one other child of my own.
So the answer
based on what my
answer is you'd be open to it, but preferably not really.
No, I want
you
more
said
children.
Become a stepmom, which means you don't birth another one. Or at most you want to birth one.
Yes.
Okay.
But kind of based on what my husband would like to, depending on how that works. Because I don't think it would be my decision.
Slow down. Take it down a few. Okay. 33. I don't know why so many women who are, and when I say this, women get upset. Average women also got to have all these high value men. I don't understand it. If you worked at Walmart, would you want a high value man?
If I worked at Walmart, would I want to?
I
really have to look at myself to see. I don't.
Okay, ma'am. If you had a job, okay, ma'am. The question is simple. If you made $30,000 or $40,000 a year, would you want a high value man? If you didn't have a college degree, would you want a high value man?
Yes. Yeah.
Why? So, okay, let me ask you this question. Do you think that's normal?
So, one of the things I want to share with you.
No. Do you think that's normal for women who are with a high school degree working just right above minimum wage, $15, $20 an hour? Do you think women like that want high value men?
Oh, I misunderstood. No, I'm sorry. That's not normal.
No, it's not. So why do you get that?
So when I said high value man, I am a new listener, and when
what does high value man sound like to you?
Okay, I may not have the correct definition, but what I am looking for is a man that would come to the table earning close to what I make.
So stop right there. See where we're already at? This is what I said earlier. You want a man based upon your education and income. Unfortunately, you've out-earned your SMV, sexual marketplace value. Do average women get above average men?
Average looking women.
Do average women get above average men?
I don't think average looking women. I don't think the average looking women would get the high earners.
So that would be
no.
No, but she's talking about the high earners, not even high earners. You don't have to add the high. They typically don't get high earners. They get average earners. That's just the truth. But of course, this woman is using her education and money to pretty much say, well, this is where my standard is now. And a lot of women do it. But, Kevin said something that was very interesting, that he's actually like one of the first people I've heard say this. A lot of women out earn or out degreed their sexual marketplace value. They're either out earning, out educating, out prophesizing, whatever it is. It's way over the sexual market value. So essentially, if you look like a person that's a 4, that is below average, no amount of money and education can make up for that for you. Because you're going to be looking for someone on that same level, but they want something too.
No. So why do you?
Why do I want a high earner?
No, why do you? Why do you in particular?
Why do I want a high earner or someone that earns close to
Okay, ma'am.
earn?
It's just very simple logic. You can answer the question when it's not you, but when it comes to you, it all of a sudden gets gray. Do average women get high value men, or do average women get above average men, high earning men? You said no.
No.
Then why do you?
Why do I want that?
No, why do you get it? Why do you think that's even a problem?
Oh,
why is
most
that
women don't get it.
But
in
why
my
do
range.
you?
No.
Okay, so you want a man based upon your income. He's in line with your income.
I'm shooting for the moon with the possibility to land at the stars, if that makes sense.
All right.
Meaning I'm willing to do the work.
All right. No,
ma'am.
ma'am. All right. And this is when it starts to get, people start to say I'm being mean. But ma'am, how tall are you?
I'm only 5'5".
Dress size?
I am a size 16.
How much did you weigh at your last weigh-in?
Okay, at my last weigh-in, I was 276 pounds. I am now 222 pounds.
How many rich or wealthy or successful men go out and get 300-pound women?
None of them. All of the men that are high earners in my city have very petite, beautiful women.
So, ma'am, why are you setting yourself up for failure?
Well, like I said earlier, I'm willing to put in the effort of a woman because I've got to work a little harder, as you can tell. I'm willing to put in the effort of a woman
you're how tall?
that's looking for that.
Stop.
I'm only 5'5".
I know.
Just to get a guy that's
you're not going to overtalk me.
Oh, I'll stop talking.
How much weight would you have to lose to get to a normal weight, healthy weight?
I am on track now.
How much weight?
To lose an additional
how much weight would you have to lose to get to a healthy weight?
And
100 pounds. When was the last time you weighed 120 pounds?
It's been a long, I would say probably in my teenage high school years.
So this is going to be uncomfortable, man. You can talk a good game. You can have all the buzzwords. And I really feel sad for our sisters that have gotten like this because our culture and our media has fed this. That women who are 300 pounds can sit back and think just because they can manifest and Lizzo and everything else, that all they got to do is I can just decide to work really hard. Ma'am, you're 33 with a 33-year-old baby mama who's 300 pounds wanting a high value man. No, you need a man, an average everyday man, and you'd be lucky and fortunate to get one of those.
Yes, that's my goal.
No, you're not. Sir. You said you want a high value man, somebody earning what you're earning. How much do you earn?
I earn over 6 figures, but
and that's not. And how many men earn over that?
They're not coming.
How many men earn over 6 figures? What percentage of men earn over 6 figures in this country? What percentage of men do you think? What percentage of men do you think earn over 6 figures in this country?
I would say somewhere in the teens, between 15
10%.
to 12%.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Why didn't you marry your baby daddy?
He left.
Why'd he leave?
He left because he didn't want to be with me anymore.
No, no,
He's just
no, 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 no,
co-parenting.
no, no, no. How old is your child?
We have an 8-year-old.
And you graduated from college at what age?
I had to go back because I took some time off to work. I was about.
Can you just answer
20.
a direct question?
Oh, I'm sorry.
What
I'm
age
chatty
did you?
and conversational. I was about 26, maybe.
All right. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. Honestly, this would drive the men you're talking about would drive up a storm. Is your baby daddy earning more than you?
No, he's not.
No. What does he do for a living?
He's a barber.
So what I need you to listen to is this. This is your story. I'm a woman who's 33 years old, mother of an 8-year-old. I weighed close to 300 pounds. My child's father is a barber. Yet, because I went to college and I have a degree and I've lost 40 pounds, I want a man who's earning 6 figures plus.
No, sir, I don't.
I know I'm in the same show everybody else in the chat room is in. You want him earning at least what you're earning, and you like to not have to work.
I actually have a range I'd like to share if that's okay.
Are you trolling me, ma'am? Are you being serious?
And this is why often people, I even see it in the comments now, like, did somebody pay this person to get on here? No, no one did. These are real people. These are real people that are out in the world and have this deluded, non-practical way of thinking. That she could be nearly 300 pounds. She says she's 220 now, so let's give her 220. That she can be over 220, dress size 16, go out there and get not just a man that is working an honest job or a man that has an honest gig. She wants a man making an exceptional amount of money. Crazy.
Please stop looking in the chat room. I'm honestly asking, are you being serious?
Yes.
Okay. You're delusional. Women your size don't get high value men. Much less women your size who are baby mamas. Much less women who are baby mamas to barbers.
I did have a question I'd like to ask, if that's okay. Would it be unrealistic to want? Well, first of all, I've got the therapist, I've got the trainer, and the dietitian. I would, as far as what I was looking for, like I said, this is kind of like a lower income area. So I had sights on a gentleman earning between 40 to 50K. I know that the role that I'm in, I probably won't be in forever. So 40 to 50K in this area.
Man, that's not what you came on here talking about. It's not what you came on here talking about. Stop. It's not what you came on here talking about. You came on here talking about shooting for the moon, landing amongst the stars. You came on here talking about, I would love to have a man to where I don't have to work and all this other kind of stuff. Now you're talking like, oh, I'd be all right. Is it reasonable? Ma'am, that's why I'm like, are you trolling? Are you being serious?
I consider it serious. I've been taking my notes, like you said, and I've got.
But you're not my client, ma'am. You're not my client, and you're taking notes about stuff you don't. You're taking notes from a YouTube show, and as I'm talking to you, ma'am, You are all over the place. The reality of it is most men don't want to marry baby mamas, much less obese baby mamas. And you know good and doggone well, you came on here talking about you want a man who's making enough money to where you don't have to work. And I'm like, what do you see? What I asked you, what do you see men that earn that kind of money with women that are your height and your weight? And you don't. But you're just talking. You're just talking. And this is what our culture has done to so many of our women. They just think on the power of sunshine that they can just I can make it happen. And it don't work that way. It does not work it does not work. No, I'm done with nope.
From you, so
yeah, nope. You just talking. I mean, I'm really sad for this woman. Because I really believe she believes this. And you still looking in the chat room like, I get it. This is the most attention you've had. You can unmute yourself, but you cannot talk over me.
All right, I'm unmuted. Well, I wanted to kind of share that with you just to get your opinion on it, but I appreciate your input. Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. But you are completely on the other side of the moon. And the worst part of it, ma'am, stop looking at YouTube. Turn off YouTube. Turn off YouTube and turn off the comment section. Unmute yourself, Tasha. Please turn off YouTube.
I'm still here.
Please turn off YouTube and turn off the comment section.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not looking at the comment section. I'm trying to have a conversation with you. See, what's the longest relationship you've ever had with a man?
That would be with my child's father of 5 years.
I don't know what happened between y'all, but y'all have a legacy. Y'all have a kid together. And ma'am, if you're being serious, it's a chore to talk to you. And the fact that you want to be with a man who, at best, you want to have one more kid, that means you're wanting an ideal, perfect scenario. And it's admirable to say you're willing to do all this stuff, but realistically, if you tap into your logical mind, the last time you were that size was years and years and years ago. And are you going to, even if you lost the weight, could you maintain it? Because you're doing it to get a man. I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to go to the next person, but I am going to go to a few more calls. See, there are people in the chat room who are probably cracking up, just busting, but I don't find any of this funny. This is what our culture has done to so many of our women. This is what telling them you the most lit. This is what that prosperity preaching, that telling there's no problem with you, sis. Anybody, that's what all this shit is wrought. A woman who can get to be her height, her weight, and she really can come in and think she can demand that kind of situation. And even if I don't get it, I'm willing to accept a little bit less. And not one thought was for the man that would have to accept that deal. What kind of man would have to accept that? This man has to go out and make himself the man he is, and he will come and get a wife like this. And even if he did accept her height and her weight, he'd have to accept her mentality. Then he'd have to deal with this child. Then he'd have to deal with the baby daddy, who's a barber. And he's what? A higher earner dealing with a barber? And what is he getting out of it? No kids. Maybe one. So when you ladies want to sit back and say, oh, that's so mean and so harsh, y'all ain't thinking about the men. You're only listening to what the women want. What would that man have to deal? He'd have to deal with all that shit. And what these last couple of women have showed that they have not put no thought into the men. And when I mentioned to her, go back and get with your baby, newsflash, black women, your college degree means nothing to men. Your job means nothing to men. You are judged on your looks first. And after you pass the looks, then other things matter. And I know there are women who will sit back and tell you that it's not the truth, but they don't have a penis and they don't have men. They can't help you. The women that are telling you it doesn't matter likely already have a husband or are single AF. Go ahead, unmute yourself. Hello. How are you? Your first name is?
Monique.
Okay, what do you got for me, Monique?
All right, so I'm a little bit nervous, so forgive me for that. So let's see this topic. I'm 40 and divorced, a 40-year-old divorcee. I would like to date and get remarried.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm at with things.
You're 40, divorced, and would like to get remarried. Any children?
3 children.
All from the marriage?
Yes.
How long were you guys married?
18 years.
So you got married at 21, 22?
18 years old.
Oh, so you've been divorced for just a couple of years.
Should be coming up on officially divorced 4 years, but the whole situation 6.
So why'd you guys divorce?
He divorced me.
Why'd he leave you?
Why did he leave me?
I mean, come on. She should at least know. You should at least know why your marriage ended. But what I always find alarming is when men are the ones that are leaving the marriage. You know, typically it's the woman, and it could be for any reason. But when it's the man, it's almost guaranteed to be 1 or 2 reasons. She was disrespectful, or she was just that unbearable. And do you know how much of an annoyance you have to be in order for a man to say I'm done with the marriage? She had to hit a different type of level of annoyance for that man to go ahead and call it quits.
The grounds, was there irreconcilable differences?
Irreconcilable differences, yeah.
Is he is he married to another woman now?
No.
Is he in the same city or state still?
Same city.
So, but you didn't ask him why he's leaving his wife of 18 years?
Well, we'd had some problems. I was sick.
Okay.
I was sick. I got sick. I'd had a major surgery. So I'd been dealing with a condition that had gotten worse over maybe a 5-year period.
Did he state that as a reason why he left you?
That's a reason. I state that on my end as a reason why we had problems, yeah.
What do you mean, sexual problems?
No, we didn't have sexual problems.
Okay, ma'am, I'm just trying to understand why. I'm not trying to get all in. Just why did he leave?
Okay,
you went to because you want my advice, so you can't hide one hand behind the back and expect the advice to be any good.
I just want to make sure that I'm answering the question and not going off.
I just need to know why he left you, because irreconcilable differences are big. Most guys don't just come in and say, "Hey, we've been together since you're 18. I'm leaving you because you were sick."
We had some events of violence in the relationship, and I was having some anxiety issues about that.
Okay.
And
now, was it mutual combat though?
Yes.
All right. So, due respect, I have an issue when women come in and talk about violence and they don't talk about their part in it. It's mutual combat.
I own my part in it. We were drunk. I
But
was
I, but I'm
drunk off
but
my
I'm saying,
ass.
ma'am. But what I'm saying
Mhm.
is, women typically don't come in and own it. You said there was an incidence of violence, and I'm having anxiety, which is leading you into a victim standpoint instead of we had incidents of violence, and I was violent to him. That's a different scenario, and it's all relative, and it's all germane as you coming back out onto the dating market. To the men out here, of which I am one, I don't know you. All I know is you're a woman who was married 18 years and divorced. I got to ask questions because I need to know why a woman who's been married for nearly half her life is now divorced and out here dating again.
Mm-hmm.
Any man's going to ask those questions.
Yes, he is.
All right. So you might as well get used to answering them. And especially if you want to get married again, why do you want to get married again?
I feel like I was at my best in a marriage. I reached a lot of my goals, and we had a lovely family, and it confidant and things. So
That's all
yeah,
about you.
I like that.
That's all about you, though.
No, it's not all about me.
No,
I
no,
think I was a good
everything you
wife,
said. What I mean
good
is,
wife and
what
mother.
I said is everything you said is about you. I feel like I was at my best. I did this, and I want a confidant. Okay, well, what is he going to get?
What is he gonna get?
Yes.
And I know that you've covered this and I've thought about this. What is he going to get and what am I willing to give? I'm a caretaker, I'm a giver, I'm compliant. Um, I build a home, keep a home.
Okay,
I'm creative and talented. I'm a chef.
I always ask this: if he were to sit down with your ex, what would his ex say it was like to be with you?
I've been trying to figure that out for weeks. What would my ex say if he were asked what it's like? He'd say something like, "Man, she crazy."
Okay, ma'am. So if 80% of divorces are filed by women,
Hmm.
what does that tell you? It tells me that it takes extraordinary circumstance for a man to file from divorce.
Exactly. Extraordinary odds that a man will go ahead and file for divorce. And also, 18 years later, listen, of course, it's not fair to just go ahead and put labels on people or stick people with things that don't belong to them, especially when you don't know for sure. But we can almost guarantee that this woman was literally from hell. That man probably thought that she was the devil. How much she was probably doing in that relationship. For a man to leave, of course, yes.
Especially from a nearly 20-year marriage. Men don't typically do that without cause unless he's divorcing that woman and going to another woman. You said he's
He
not.
should not have done that. I didn't think that he would do that.
What do you mean?
I wouldn't have done it.
Okay.
He shouldn't have done it.
What do you mean he shouldn't have done it? Divorced you?
He should not. Yeah, he shouldn't have. I
Hold
wish that he
on.
hadn't.
Oh, hold on. Now it's starting to come out. Why do you say he should not have done it?
Because I look at it now and the issues that we had on the grand scheme of things was a blip in time and could have been worked through.
Did you ask him that?
No.
Oh, see, that's my point, man. You just said this man who divorced me, knowing that it takes a lot for men to walk away from his wife and children, saying he shouldn't have did it. I don't know if you understand, but you've put all this out. He didn't come in saying the combat was mutual. It was a violence and I had anxiety. But when you start talking about him divorcing you, it's that was small. Apparently not, ma'am. He divorced you for it.
No, it was definitely a blow up, and it would have taken some work and some time.
No, that's your opinion.
That's my opinion, definitely.
That's your opinion. To him, it was worth leaving you. And see, what you have not done is validated his reason for leaving you. You keep undermining his. It's like, well, it's not that big. Okay, let me switch the circumstance. Okay, let's do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
He's having extramarital affairs with women, and you can't.
He told
Hold on,
yes,
no.
yes, he
Oh no, man.
was.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, that's a trigger. Yeah. Nuh-uh.
Oh yeah, and it's gonna get worse. You're to my line, okay? One thing I do not like is when women decide to raise their voice and talk over me. That won't work, man. I'm just giving you a scenario. If you were you faithful to him?
Yes.
All right. And if he had been cheating on you and repeatedly and you found out about it and he tried to tell you, really this is no big deal. We could work through it. And you decided to divorce him because of the rampant infidelity and no remorse for it, you would not think that's so small.
I agree.
So use that same logic when he left you. What you're saying is just a blip was not a blip. He had 20 years invested in this marriage too. He had 3 kids invested in this marriage too. Think it was just easy for him to say, oh, well, I'll just end this. You didn't think about it that way, did you?
No, and no one has ever said this to me.
Well, I would imagine because you're not.
In this direction until
I would
now.
imagine it's because you're probably a little hard to talk to. Has anyone ever told you that?
No.
Do you have many female friends?
Yes.
Are they married or single?
Both.
The majority of them are married or single?
The majority of my friends are married.
Okay. So when you were served with divorce papers, where'd you get them?
In the mail.
Where you got them in the mail?
At home.
Where was he?
In the rental, in the investment property.
So you guys weren't living together?
No.
How long had you guys been living separately?
3.5 months.
In the 3.5 months, were you actively trying to reconcile and get your husband back in the house? Actively.
No.
Exactly. So when he finally said, okay, and hit you with papers, what was the first thing you did when you got those papers? What was your first interaction with him?
Let me think about that.
You went, the process server knocked on the door, asked you your name, and gave you the papers. Right?
Well, it doesn't go like that. They came like regular mail, so I'm
all right. But
putting myself
okay, but
back
when
to
you
opening
got them, you opened them up, and you didn't say, "Ooh, great, I got a coupon."
It makes my heart stop to think about it now.
But what did you
envelope.
do when you got it? Did you call him? Did you go to the house?
Neither. No.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
All right. When was the first time you actually interacted with him next?
May have been court, which was some weeks away.
Right. So 3.5 months, you did nothing to try to resolve your marriage. You got served, and the next time you saw him was in court.
I did not know what to do.
Oh, so
I didn't know what to
oh,
say.
no.
Okay, well,
Oh
okay, I'll
no,
take it back.
no,
I take it
no.
back. I know I
No.
could
She knows she messed up. Once she said that, she's like, "Ah, damn, Kevin caught that. He caught it. Oh, I know I will be checked here." But here's the thing. We've gotten to the point now where women don't even see the need in trying to even fight for their marriage. She's probably emasculated this man, treated this man like a piece of you know what, a POS, and then is sitting here confused as to why he didn't, he pulled the fundamental trigger. She mentioned earlier, I wish he didn't do that. Well, of course, like look, when you seen this man for the first time in 3 months, you didn't say anything. You decided to carry on because you think highly of yourself. You were the one that was leading that relationship, and you also let it into the ground. See, that's the thing. For a lot of women that want to sit here and lead their relationship, the only thing you are leading it into is failure. Think about it. Any single time a woman has led a relationship, she will lead it to failure because she will try to change everything about it and think that's what she actually wants until the results has set in. And then when she turns around and looks, she's now upset at you for you allowing her to manipulate you and to manipulate the situation, and now she's not happy. Take notes.
have said
No,
something.
no,
I'll
no,
take it back.
no.
I'll own it.
You see how you came in on this? You say you did. Your husband's living outside the home. That's a problem. And he didn't go out there because the marriage was great. And did you do anything to try to resolve it or fix it? No. He had to go file for divorce, which is like women do that 4 times more often than men. Sounds to me like he was pushed. He had no choices because his wife doesn't sound like she was very responsive. Then when you did file, you got it in the mail and you didn't even make a phone call or drive over to the property and say, what? Baby, no, I don't want a divorce. This is a blip. We can fix this. You just said, fuck it, I'll see you in court.
I was sick, Kevin. I was sick.
Yeah.
I really was.
Okay, so you mean to tell me you didn't make a phone call to anybody from that point? You mean so you were sick? Okay, ma'am, you were sick.
I was
No, ma'am, you
disconnected
was
from
so
my
no, you were
family and
no,
everybody.
ma'am,
Yeah.
no, you were sick. So that means you didn't talk to a friend, a family member, a coworker, anybody. You were mute from the day you got those papers to the day you went to court because you were deathly ill.
I let my mom know when the court date
Right.
was.
The answer is yes or no. For weeks you didn't talk to nobody.
No.
Exactly.
I did not talk to nobody.
Right. So miss me with the I was sick.
Now that doesn't have anything to do with having talked to anybody. It
All right.
had
Well,
more
here's
to do
here's
with
the
how
bottom
to
line, man.
deal with the
Let me tell you what I'm
situation.
getting from this. You have spent your life with one man, right, wrong, or
Yeah.
indifferent, and typically that does not make either one of you fit for anybody else out here. I asked you why your husband left, and you danced around it. But if he filed, and if you did, you want a divorce?
No.
Then what did you do to fight for your marriage?
I did not
Nothing.
fight for my marriage.
Nothing. And that's exact. Thank you. So now what we get is we hear the other side. We always hear about what black men don't do, and you just said it. He shouldn't have filed. He shouldn't have. Yes, he should have because his wife wasn't. You quit. You quit on him. He's moved outside the house. You
I
quit.
definitely checked out.
Exactly. So when I hear a woman say that he should have did this, he should have did that, I'm like, the nerve of you, man. He was with you for almost 2 decades. And you didn't even fight for your marriage, but yet you women always tell men we need to fight. You have probably fought me more in this conversation than you did for your marriage at this time frame. Take that as a lesson that you know how to fight. Whatever happened, have you apologized to him for your part?
No. We don't talk. We haven't talked. We talk more as if the last year or so than we have the last 4 or 5. But we don't.
No, ma'am.
Stand in the
No,
same
ma'am.
space, and we.
No, ma'am.
I don't
No,
stand in
ma'am.
the
No,
same space,
ma'am.
and I don't say anything.
Who do you think you're talking to? See, now it's starting to come. Now it's starting to come out. Now she's triggered. Now it's starting to come out. You didn't fight for your marriage.
Mm-mm.
All right. So I'm saying this is not a matter of dating. You don't need to be dating anybody.
Oh God.
I'm sorry, man, but nobody.
And
okay.
that's why I'm not.
How many children do you? And what's your
house.
youngest child?
19.
All right. Say your youngest?
My oldest is 24.
And you're how old?
40.
You start having babies at 15?
Yes. With my ex-husband.
What? This lady was this lady was cooking something in the oven at 15. That's crazy. That is crazy. At 15, pushing out babies. Insane. Insane. I'm speechless. Let's just play this.
You need therapy, and you need to go get your husband back, and y'all need to go live in y'all's mushroom together. I'm not laughing. I'm dead ass.
You are dead ass, and that's one of those laughs that's happening.
I'm not, no, I'm dead ass. 15, 16 years old. What the heck? You no, don't be coming out trying to date nobody else. See, you have your partner. You ladies forget you got a partner marriage too. And I have met far too many women, sisters in particular, divorcees who talk this stuff. I didn't want a divorce. I wish I hadn't got a divorce. But when it was going on, you throw your hands up in there and don't do nothing. And even to this date, you said you have not apologized to him for your part. What are you waiting on him to come apologize to you?
On one hand, gosh.
Well,
a lot went on.
Well, all right. Well,
Listen, she is drunk off cigarettes and high off of beer. If she believes that the man that divorced her is going to come back and apologize, you need to be the one apologizing. That man left for a reason. You need to figure out whatever that reason is, and you need to apologize for it. But even in these situations, again, no accountability. They don't want to they don't want to have any responsibility. What are you supposed to do with that?
Hey, man, the world does not owe you understanding, man. A lot went on, so a lot went on. I grant a lot went on. What do you think? You're going to take that into the open dating market? You think a stranger wants to hear all this?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Well, but that's the thing, ma'am. I need you to understand. You have not processed this. So any man that's in your proximity, you're going to contaminate him with this. Therapy. Therapy. Because you need to own your part of this. And I often tell women to go back to their spouses. Because you sound like you didn't want a divorce, then you should have fought for it. And if he's not married, you may be lucky. So obviously you guys never talked about reconciling.
About 3 weeks ago, he pulled a stunt on me.
I just need to know if you have or not, man.
I said, after he told me, after he said what he said, I told him I'm moving in and I'm not going to let you go through this alone.
Right. So in other words, you're still too goddamn prideful. All I'm hearing is pride. Let me help you out, sis. I need you to look straight forward. Okay? Now I need you to look down about 90 degrees. And between your hips,
Which way?
90 degrees down towards the ground. And between your hips and your feet, on this thing called a leg, there are some things called knees. Okay? I need you to get on them and crawl back to your husband and apologize and beg him to take you back and promise him you'll act right when you do. And if there's broken glass, kerosene, and fire, make it even better. Check your pride at the door and go get your husband.
Yeah, because it's not. There was no plan. It's not.
You're
this
welcome.
Is not great. It's not great. Thank you, Kevin. Hey.
I mean, seriously though, 20 years of marriage? Come on, man. Y'all ain't here for nothing.
Man, shout out to Kevin. What I love more than anything is that he always advocated, especially for people that were married. Go get back with that person. You've created so many memories. You've spent so much time. You've had countless of children. Go back, make it right, get it together. Because not only is there not anything else out here for you, you would have wished you went back sooner. Shout out to Kevin. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. Turn on post notifications so you will be alerted when we upload more videos just like this one. Share this video. Go over to Kevin Samuel's channel. Let's keep the Godfather's name alive. Go support his videos. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
You're just too far into. All right. Yeah.
As married couples. I completely agree. We as Black people do need to marry more and to stay together. I think that will help increase our generational wealth and rebuild, Black family and our economy as Black people.
Okay.
Where I slightly disagree, I get the point you were making, but when it comes to Gabby, no shade to her. She seems like a beautiful woman, but her options probably weren't as abundant as she wanted as a 35 plus overweight woman. So I think people were happy for her because they were genuinely happy for her. It's like, okay, she probably doesn't have that many options, and in her eyes it may not be a marry down just because it's financially. For her it just may be truly love. And then with Serena Williams, she's a multimillionaire marrying another multimillionaire. So
No,
I
ma'am.
mean,
Let me stop you right here. Okay. She did marry down, and it's a matter of math and logic. It's not open for negotiation. Gabby is 8 million. He's not. That's down.
completely agree.
Okay, but you're saying it as though it's not down. And
No,
Serena Williams, hold on, and Serena Williams saying she's a multimillionaire marrying another multimillionaire is more of this Black female shell game. And it would not work if it was a Black man on the other end of these choices. The judgments would be different.
Oh, 1,000%. The difference between a Black woman dating outside her race and a Black man dating outside his race is the Black women will condemn him. There will be a level of contempt. It's always, you hate your mama, you're this, you're that. Oh, he's this, he's weird, he made this, he made that. When a Black woman does it, it's always encouraged. It's always, leave Tyrone, go get a Tom. Leave Tyrone, go get a Brad. And they actually encourage it. So one side will actively sit there and pull down their men because they date outside of their race. But when the same women do it, it's encouraged by other women in that race. Double standard, and we don't even speak about that one enough.
I think if Gabby married a black man that had similar stature, financial means, or whatever, the gentleman that she's with now, people would genuinely be happy for her, um, because she's just getting married in general. And
Well,
I guess
Gabrielle Sidibe is also not a victim. Man,
completely, yeah.
she is 37 years old, but she has the means to lose the weight if she wanted to. She's already had, I think she's had at least one procedure to address the weight. Her weight is her responsibility.
I
So
completely agree.
I get, so ultimately saying that she didn't have many options. She has the option she's afforded herself because of the discipline she's put into her life. But are you honestly trying to tell me that you don't think any black men were trying to approach Gabrielle Sidibe?
Maybe they
This
did,
woman's
but they
from
didn't marry
Brooklyn.
her. Yeah, I was like, maybe this just
This
is
woman's
one
from
of the ways to
Brooklyn.
marry her, though.
This woman's from Brooklyn. Now, this is where the conversation could go either way. What part of the country do you live in?
In the South,
What state?
Texas.
There are women the size of Gabrielle Sidibe who have men in Texas.
Absolutely.
So let's not act as we just saying that Gabrielle Sidibe is a victim that no one really was checking for, and so everybody's happy that it's because she has a white man. It's not because he's a man.
I guess that's where we differ. I think honestly, if she married anyone, whomever her partner would have been, people would have been happy for her.
But the way you try to frame this is she's a victim of her weight and her all this other stuff, and she didn't have a lot of options, and that's not true because in Texas you can see women of her skin tone and her size who have relationships, who have children. Women of her size and skin tone don't have a problem finding men, black men in particular. You see that where you live.
And when they marry down or up, people were happy for them regardless.
Okay, now this is where you honestly tell, how old are you?
I'm 27.
27.
Mhm.
So you're trying to get me to believe that when a millionaire black woman marries just an average black man, black women celebrate it?
Or happy for them initially, like Mary J. Blige initially before her husband came out as this, bad guy. People were happy for her. They were like, she
No,
finally
they
did
weren't.
it.
No, they were not. No, they were not. People would talk about you could do better, girl.
I mean, of
See,
course, you're gonna have those few outliers, but I feel like people were like,
but hold
telling
on.
you,
No,
all
no, no, they're not outliers, ma'am. Mary J. Blige is my contemporary. Okay, who's this? Mary J. Blige is my contemporary. I'm sorry, man. When Mary J. Blige announced that she was engaged, black women made their opinions known about her being able to do better. Now, maybe you don't know because you're 27, but I remember when it came out.
Wait, but why are we acting like this is not a phenomenon? Like we don't see this. We do. We see this very well. When women, specifically black women, date up or date outside of their race, it's praised upon by other black women. When men, simply just date outside of their race, they're not dating up. If they're just simply dating outside of their race, it comes with critique and criticism. And then it's a whole backstory. Now you're down low, you don't like your mom, and you're all this and that. Like, where, how can you not see this? This is the truth. I'm telling you, if you can't just simply acknowledge that truth, there's going to be there's going to be so much more in life that this woman is going to have to grasp.
And all I'm saying is, even in our conversation, go back and listen to how you talked about it. You know, Gabrielle is a certain age, she looks a certain way, and her options aren't that high. And I'm sorry, in Texas, women of her size and her skin tone have relationships and children. They don't they don't it's not like no one, so this whole thing that she had to pick who was picking checking for her is just an outright falsehood. I don't want to call it a lie, it's just a falsehood. It's not true. And she did marry, and then she did go with somebody that's less than her. It's down. She's a millionaire and he's not. So, but I want to be clear. I know what I think, but what you're saying, just to be clear, that a black woman, if Serena would have, that when a black woman chooses down, people are happy for them. When they choose a black man who's beneath them, they're happy for them.
I think I'm saying when people choose love, people are happy for them.
But see, that's the problem. When the black man's on the other side, it's never assumed to be love. When Mary J chose her husband, they didn't give him the benefit of love. They gave him the benefit of wanting her money. When it's a non-black man, then love comes into it. Thank you for proving my point, though. I don't think that you mean wrong, but ma'am, when a black man has less than a black woman, it's assumed that he's in there for something else. When a non-black man is there, all of a sudden, this is when the Disney movie comes out.
Hello?
I'm here.
I don't agree with that. I think that you will always have those people that criticize it and, you know, are against it. But
Okay.
for the vast majority of people, I think people were just genuinely happy that she found love. And
Okay.
like if
So if
Serena
that's the
wouldn't have
case, so
cheated,
how about this? How about this, ma'am? So let's go with what you're saying. So let's say what you're saying is true. People will be
mhm,
happy for black women who just find love. Then why aren't more black women who are supposed
I'm a
to be the
PhD.
most educated, college degrees, earning so much? Why aren't they just going to find? Why won't they settle or choose a blue collar black man or a black man who earns less than they do for love's sake?
okay, so that's different. So I was saying I think the outside people you're talking about the comments were happy for Gabby, but the actual people themselves, the women, that's their choice if they want
No,
to
no.
marry
Say
the guy
again.
or not.
Say again. The comment.
Yeah,
No.
like the audience, the people were commenting and they were happy for Gabby, is what I'm saying. But the women themselves, that's their choice. Maybe those women don't
No,
want to
no,
marry
no.
the
What I'm
guy.
saying with Gabrielle Sidibe, black women were happy for her because she had a white guy. But when Mary J. Blige announced she was marrying a black man who was less than her, black women were saying, "Watch out, girl, get a prenup, girl." There was not the outpouring of love and affection. There was a lot of vitriol. And what I'm saying is, when it's a black man who has less than a black woman, it's always looked at with the side eye. But when a black woman has more than a non-black man, it's always love. Ma'am, that's not you history. You can go back and, well, you can't go back. There's no texting available, text records. But when Mary J was with her man, he got a lot of heat. So my next question is, then black women should have no problem getting with a black man who has less than her for love. Did you go to college?
I did. And I was saying that it's not okay, in this regard, it's not the audience that we're worried about being happy. It's now we're talking about the actual woman. And then that's solely on the woman's choice if she chooses to marry
Well, the
down.
thing is, if women are, but the thing is, man, but I'm not worried about. What I'm saying is, if the audience was truly happy, the audience is made up of individuals, right?
Mm-hmm.
then individual black women should, if they have more, they should still be just as happy to find love if a black man has less than her.
If that's what they want in a man, not all women want to marry down. Some women want to marry their
See,
equal or
see now, see what you just did.
Yeah, she's moving the goalposts, flipping the pancake. All right, they're speaking specifically on if black women actually wanted to marry for love, and they're willing to marry outside of their race and marry lower. It should be the same for black men. But she's like, no, 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 no. I do believe women can marry up. She's flipping it. But I will say this. For the people that watch this channel that are of another race, obviously, we know there's no issue. There's really no problem, right? It's one of those things, it doesn't really have to be said, but let me go ahead and just say it here. There really is no problem. It's just pointing out the plight and the inconsistencies in these black women's story, because they often do it to the black men. Now, obviously, I think these conversations further us and get us closer to where we need to be, but this is the truth. Anybody from any other race, if you're looking in now, when black men date outside of their race, it's usually critiqued. When black women do it, it's not. It's actually seen as an upgrade. That's just the truth.
First, we talked about love. Now you're talking about marrying down. Which
no,
is
but
it? Stop.
okay.
Stop. No, stop. You're not going to play the. You're not going to play the verbal hopscotch with me. Look, man. You said love, and then marrying down. See, when it's a black man, it's marrying down. When it's a white man, it's love.
No, I'm saying on an individual basis now. If my friends were to marry down, I would be happy for them in that regard. But that doesn't mean that I want to marry down or I marry
Well,
down. You know
but
what I'm
why?
saying?
But hold on. What's more important? Okay, should black women marry for love, or should women marry for resources?
A combination of both.
No. What's primary?
Guess it depends on the person.
No. What's primary? Don't play with me. Put them
It,
in order, please. In general, don't play the it depends gray game. I don't do that.
it does depend on person. For me, it would be resources, then love.
I said in general. Okay. I said black women. I didn't say you.
So then in general, I don't know. I guess the average woman would marry for love. And then
Okay. So in
resources.
general, black women should marry for resources. How old are you?
27.
Right. So are you prepared to marry a 45-year-old?
No.
Well, then you don't want to marry for resources.
True, but it depends on the
No,
resources.
true. That's it. Because the resources come with a man when he's 45 to 65 is a man's financial peak. And not at 27. So if you want resources, you want to play the resource game, you best be prepared to go get a 40-plus-year-old man.
If that's what I choose to marry for, then that's what I would look for. But that's not.
See, what I'm showing you guys in the audience is when a black man's on the other side of the equation, it becomes all these different things that have to happen. But when it's a non-black man, it can be just as simple as love. When it's a black man, it has to be a combination of love and resources, or at least resources first. And then it has to be resources from a man of a certain age. See, I know what I'm talking about. And I said this at the beginning of the broadcast. Black men have to be perfect, and it still ain't enough. So, ma'am,
Yes.
I'm using you to prove my point. If black women wanted to do like everyone else, they would go marry for love and they would build together with the resources. But far too often, black women are like yourself. You want resources first, but then you want them from a man that you're attracted to and age appropriate. And it doesn't work that way for black women in general. It only works that way for the top 10% of black women at best. You have to look good enough. Your body has to be good enough to make those kind of demands. That's where I'm going with this.
Very good point. Gone are the days where women like this believe they can just show up and they're going to get exactly what they want. No, now you actually have to work for it. Now you actually have to know what you're speaking about before you can go get it. And another thing, a lot of them want everything to be perfect. He needs to be 6 foot tall. He needs to be in a gym. He needs to be a loyal alpha. He needs to be making $500,000 a year. He better have a great conversation with his mother every Tuesday. He better go visit the church every Sunday. He better be a superhero every Monday. Watch the children. Go shop for the groceries. They want men to practically do everything. And this is not even this is not even just something specific to Black people. Now it's something that is trickling down in all races. So something that once was specific to us is no longer. It's trickling down to all the races.
Okay.
So
So
you're
you're still
27.
saying
Are you?
yes.
You're 27, and you're an
hmm
attractive woman. Do you plan on getting married anytime soon?
I'm actually getting a divorce. So yeah, hopefully one day
You're
again.
getting a divorce.
Mhm.
Why?
Because my husband is 27, 6'6", and has resources, and a lot of women like that.
I asked you why you're getting divorced, and you said because your husband's tall and your age.
No, I'm saying because he's financially stable and he um, had lots of options and explored those options.
Okay. Could you just make it a straight answer? Because I'm not understanding.
Infidelity.
How often did you cheat?
I didn't cheat. He did.
Hmm. Well, ma'am, I hate to break this to you. But at 27, 6'6", you do realize that men who have resources and options, that's going to be with any man that has resources. We have options. See, again, do you want strict monogamy too?
Well, that's what he wanted when he asked me to marry him. So
Well,
yeah.
no, we can get, see, we have the resources. We can get strict monogamy from you. When you have the resources, then you can set the terms. Let's get real. He out earns you, right?
Yes.
Right. So women like that. So now you think it's better to divorce him and leave the resources behind. And this is why I believe we should go back to fault divorce and no child support, no alimony. So women like this, when they decide to leave, they can leave with what they came with and not get payments for vagina that I can't access. See, in a pre-1960s world, you could have left your husband, but you could not be getting payments from him because he
We
can't.
married in Texas. I won't get payments for him regardless.
Spousal support need children. What?
No,
Okay.
not in Texas.
Yeah,
You don't get spousal support.
okay. So no, but they have community spousal support, but they have communal property, things like that. You're not walking
hmm
away. You're not walking away with what you came with. I mean, I lived in Texas for 12 years and I was
hmm
married in Texas.
hmm
So let's be honest. You're not walking with what you came with,
hmm
right?
Correct.
Right.
Wow. But she just tried to make it seem like she was walking away with nothing. Like she was just going to get divorced and it was just going to go up in the air and she'll be able to continue her life. He'll be able to continue his. Everybody walks away evenly. No, of course it's not. Of course it's not. Being dishonest, lying by omission. Nice.
And who purchased the bulk of what you're walking with?
They've shared
We shared. Okay. Shared what percentage?
60-40.
Okay. 60-40. So is he an athlete?
Not professionally,
All right,
collegially.
60-40. So, and
Yeah.
I'm being serious, ma'am. At 27,
hmm
infidelity, and I don't expect women to like infidelity. I don't. I really don't. But I expect black women to understand that white women, Hispanic women, Asian women, Middle Eastern women put up with infidelity because they expect men with resources and means to have other women. They know that, so it happens. They accept it. Black women, if you want men at those levels, you need to get on board with women at these levels. They will tell you. A lot of these women know their other uh the women that the men cheat with, as long as he's not bringing home any diseases, outside children, or scandals. As long as he's not embarrassing you in public, that should be. I'm gonna be dead honest. That's the affluent, high value way it goes. You have to make an agreement about these things up front, and you may have something on the side too. Happens all the time because I now see a 27-year-old woman who's going to get back out on the dating market, and you know, how long were you guys together?
6 years.
Okay, so 6 years, you're gonna have a lot to detox from.
hmm
Um, do you ever want to have children?
Yes.
All right. Well, uh, based on what I'm hearing, ma'am, has he apologized for his infidelity?
hmm
Okay. Is he still doing it?
I don't know. We're not in the same home.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you what somebody should have told you. You might want to check. You might want to think several times before going to file this divorce because it may sound like it's a good idea right now, but at 27, you're not the 20. You're not the 21-year-old you were. You're another a danger zone black woman out here, and it takes time to get through the issues you have. All I'm saying, ma'am, is marriages are messy. People are messy. People make mistakes. People make errors. But unless you already have somebody else you're seeing, I don't know. I, I'll leave it alone. I just did he make any babies while he was out there?
Not to my knowledge.
All right, and he apologized, and you didn't want to forgive him.
Yes, I did forgive him, but that I don't trust him anymore. So no, I didn't want to continue with the relationship
Well,
if I don't trust him.
all right. Well, I'm gonna say it anyway, ma'am. Um, you could be making a mistake because getting back here out in the dating market, um, have you I don't know if I want to ask you that. I don't know if you've actually gone out on a date, but the dating market is far worse than what you have already. So let me disabuse you of the fact that you're gonna find uh people out here, especially the kind of men you're used to, have rotations and aren't really down with committing to older women. And I hate to hear divorces for infidelity. Again, not trying to get you to just saying you might want to think several times about it because black folks, we walk away from our marriages. And if you watch this broadcast, divorces are down, marriages are up. And if you have a man
hmm
that you've been with for years who apologize and you say you can't trust him, I would exhaust all options, therapy, reconciliation, because I'm going to be honest, man, you don't want to be back out here thinking you're going to possibly find a better deal because you still got to do some healing. And you might as well do, and all things being equal, I'm going to just be pragmatic like a father would be. You might as well heal with your husband than to heal while you're bouncing between Tom, Dick, Harry, trying to date out here, trying to figure out what this is going on, and then wishing you just stayed in your marriage. Take some time, think about it, pray about it, meditate on it. Ask, is there anything that he can do to regain my trust? And before you go through that process and get back out here, because as a guy who's divorced, I'm telling you, 27-year-old woman out in Texas, you're outnumbered. But thank you for being honest. That's, I mean, it shows that a lot of character that you can at least be honest about it. You know?
Appreciate your effort.
Yeah, appreciate it though.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that it's not an easy thing. But ladies, men with means. So, and I'm not going to ask her, Tracy, but she said he's 6'6", money and looks. Women like that. So, what are you going to do? Go with a guy who's 5'7", unattractive, and broke? Black women, do you not realize throwing away your men over things that other women would just be like, eh? And the stuff I'm telling you, I have sat down with plenty of non-black women be like, yeah, I've met his mistress. She and I are good friends, but I have the house and the insurance on my name. You walking away with nothing. 6 years into a relationship, nothing. To be out here in 2020, 2021 dating scene, swiping left, swiping right, think you're going to find better? Shit. Better come on in. What you got for me, Jess?
I currently in the danger zone. I live in Seattle.
Uh-oh.
And yes, I am a senior software engineer. So I usually have a problem dating because I end up making a lot more than the men I talk to. And it becomes an issue because I just know I'll forever have to work when I date a lot of the guys because it's a big disparity in the income.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to handle that.
Well, how old are you?
I am I'm 29, I'll be 30 at the end of the year.
How tall are you?
I am 5'7".
Dress size?
I wear a size 6.
Okay. You're 29, you'll be 30 at the end of the year. And the problem is there's a disparity in income between you and the guys you date.
Yes.
But Seattle is one of the most target rich places for high earning men, black men in particular.
Yes.
Why can't you get those guys?
I do, but I feel like a lot of those guys, they're just as focused on their jobs as I am. So it becomes
okay, hold on. Those guys marry.
No, they're not married. I just feel like
no. Men like that marry though.
I'm sorry, they marry young?
They marry. Okay. First you said there's a problem with income in the men you date. And I asked, why can't you get the guys over here? And you said, I can, but then you came up with a problem with them too. So there's a problem with both groups of men, the under earners and then the guys who earn more.
No, I feel like the guys that are under earners usually have more time to really work on a relationship compared to the guys.
What do you mean work on relationships?
Essentially, the high earners, the rich earners, the well earners, they're off, on their purpose, doing what they need to do. And that she's pretty much a little upset that they're not wasting their time. They're not adding everything into their relationship. That's what she's upset about. So essentially, the people that are less earners have more time to give her. And she could use money and the fact that she's doing something slightly better. That this is the reason why you should be giving me attention.
Okay, let me back up. What would you rank yourself on a scale to 1 to 10? You cannot use 6. I mean 7, just your face.
I would say maybe a 6. I can put my camera on so you can see. You can see me.
Please.
I'm chilling at home.
All right. So men who earn as much or more than you demand more than under earning men.
Yeah, time and resources.
They don't need your resources. I don't need your resources. My guys don't need your resources. You don't know how to handle these men.
I guess I mean.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. How often do you wear a dress?
I wear a dress when I was going to the office. I wore a dress 3 times a week.
Right. How often do you wear a dress outside the office?
If I'm going out and to dinner, a social event, I usually wear a dress.
Okay, I'm just asking your day-to-day life. I'm not talking about going somewhere.
I would say like once a week I wear dresses.
Are you a girly girl?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a girly girl in my personal life, but I'm very masculine in my work life.
Yeah, so let's get to it because I know you.
It does kind of
I know you, sis.
So but that's a lot of it has to do with the environment that I work in.
No. Hold on. There are women who work in the environment you work in who marry, and non-black women can seem to work in these environments and still be able to turn. They call into this show. I know them, so don't give me the environment shit because that's going to be a problem.
Okay.
I'm an engineer by trade too, so no, you don't know how to turn it off. And then when you are with a guy who's earning more, can you be what he wants?
Yeah.
Let's start here. Let's start here. You said the problem with under earning guys is because you'd have to work even after marriage.
Yes.
All right. Do you want to have children?
Yes. So maybe 2.
Okay. Maybe 2. All right.
Yeah.
And you don't want to have to work after pregnancy to pay significant bills?
I do. I definitely do want to work.
So do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after pregnancy?
No, I don't want to have to work.
All right. So you want a man who can make enough money to afford your standard of living, 2 kids, Seattle, so you don't have to work to pay significant bills. Fine. Mm-hmm. All right. How much money would a man need to make in Seattle to accomplish that annually?
I would say you at least be making about 400,000, 300,000.
And what does a man, and do you care about racial preference or you prefer?
No.
All right. A man making $400,000 a year, what does he want from his woman?
They want to cook, clean. They want to come home and be not worship, but like they want household things taken care of. They want a woman to take care of them.
What experience do you have doing that?
I have pretty good experience doing that.
Okay, in a relationship, when have you done that last?
I was actually in a relationship a couple of weeks ago. So
for how long?
And it was a 9-month relationship.
Okay, and prior to that, that's the longest relationship you've been in?
Before that, I was in a year-long relationship, and before that, it was a 2-year relationship.
Well, still, all in all, there's no significant track record of you being able to do this successfully for anyone. This is why men need to start asking these questions as well, because it sounds good. Even though you can see the truth already, it sounds good, but when you get down to it, there's still no track record of any man that's been with her that's actually has gained anything from this or thought it was enough value to where he should stay with it. He didn't. All of them, it ended for a reason. So she's clearly, I'm not saying lying, but she clearly doesn't really have the ability to do it over a long period of time.
And were any of these guys $400,000 earners?
Yes.
Why didn't the 2-year guy marry you?
The 2-year guy didn't marry me because he left for school and I wasn't going to move with him for school.
Wait a minute. 400,000, enough money for you not to have to work and have some babies. What are you talking about?
That one I couldn't date because the age difference was too much.
So it's not school. That's a lie.
No, the person I dated.
All right. Hold on, man. Right. 2 years.
The 2-year guy,
you dated, and now you didn't want to move because of the age difference?
No, that's 2 different persons. So the 2-year guy I talked to for 2 years, he went into medical school, and I wasn't going to move with him.
Why?
Because he was going to medical school abroad. And
see what you're showing, ma'am, is you're very inflexible. You want everything, and you're not going to give up shit. And this is a problem with you professional women. You want a man who's in the top 5% of earners, yet he has to live in Seattle and do what the hell you want. You're not the man, you're the woman.
Yeah, I know, and I think I do have a lot of masculine energy. I'm not going to.
I know. Shut up. I'm serious. I'm saying this just to see if you can understand. You had a guy for 2 years and you blew it. He didn't say he wanted to go dig ditches and become Indiana Jones. He wanted to go to medical school. That's to make more money, right?
Yeah, but I was also in school during that time.
Who cares what you're doing? You don't want to do it anyway after you're married and having babies.
Yeah, but I was also
just shush and say I was wrong.
Yeah, I guess I was wrong.
Exactly, but you're too damn masculine to even do that. Yeah, I made it very clear. I made it very clear. I made it very clear up front, man. You would get rid of all this career shit that you're talking about if you had a man who was making the kind of money you wanted, so you could live the lifestyle to be married and have kids. I got that clear up front. And then when you tell me you have it, you didn't want to give it up. You don't want to be married. You want a loyal alpha male. You want the beta males who admire you and the alpha males who could take you or leave you to be the same person. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, you're cute, but you ain't that damn fine.
Yeah, but I also make decent money, so kind of.
I don't give a shit what you make. Congratulations, you make a lot of money. You and your dog can have a lot of fun together when you die by yourself as a spinster.
Yeah, but I mean, I at least also get to,
Okay, then be happy. Then you have made peace being alone until you by yourself till you die.
Yeah.
You've already quit. You quit. See, and that's the thing. At 30 years old, you would rather quit. You're too goddamn masculine, too fucking stubborn to learn. This is why black women like yourselves never get anywhere. Because you say there's a problem with the men over here and the men over here, and the problem is in your mirror. Because you've already had a guy that was on that level.
I know I definitely see there was some issues with me. I'm not going to deny that, but I also know that I was younger and I was going through a lot of transitions in my life during that time.
Acceptable, but ma'am, I'm talking to you now. And see, you dug your heels in, and I had to force you to admit you were not going to admit fault. You were going to fight. Your first instinct is to fight. I don't know why, but professional black women, more than anything else, therapy. You gotta drop this guard. If you're ever going to have anything with anybody, whether it's marriage, kids, or anything, if you're going to have a relationship, you got to drop this guard.
I think I kind of made a comment on that. I think having a guard up, is something that a lot of people have to put up working in a corporate setting or working in a place where you're always victimized. And I think,
oh, give me with the French. I'm 50. Hold on, lady. Let me tell you something. Hold on. I come from corporate America for 20 plus years.
Yeah. But how much were you a minority in an anomaly?
Excuse me? A black man, chemical engineer and corrosion engineer. I was usually the only black face there. Then when I went to telecommunications, but the thing is, I don't care about the victimization bullshit. I compete. And I'm sorry, man, you ain't had to ride the back of no bus. You ain't been spit on. Ain't nobody trying to lynch you. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and give you a preemptive taps. I don't want to hear this racial disparity bullshit in Seattle. You're not a victim. You're not a victim, ma'am. You're not a victim. You're not a victim. Everybody has something.
Yeah.
And black women put themselves on a cross as a special victim.
I mean, I think we have to deal with different issues.
Okay, let's grant your argument. You're right. Now what?
To deal with. I mean,
I'm not
saying what? I think it causes
what?
Your life to be.
Now what? Okay, you have no. You're a special victim. Now what? What are you doing about it?
Well, at that point, you need to work past it because you can't blame.
No. Have you?
Exactly. Actually, let's stick with that point. You need to work past it. So why is this still being an issue now, knowing that you want what you want out of life? You want a family. You want the house. You don't want to have to work. So if you know these things, why don't you take the necessary steps so you can stop using these things as a crutch or something to fall back on? and go get the help, go get the work done. But she wants this to continue to be an excuse she can always fall back on. So when it doesn't go right, she could just say, well, I had to have my guard up, this, that, and a third. No, go do the work, like exactly like you said.
No, yeah, I feel like I definitely have. I'm not gonna
Okay,
say
by yourself.
Yeah, no, I think from my
by yourself, you work past it.
No, I think I've had a lot of realizations.
Okay, Jasmine, be quiet and listen. You haven't worked past anything. You're still fighting. He's fighting this conversation. I said therapy. The first thing I said, therapy is like, well, I think we have reason to be where you are. Listen, Jasmine, let's turn the volume down. The world doesn't owe you understanding, and the world doesn't have to care about what your feelings. Fuck my feelings, fuck your feelings. These are first world problems. You ain't missed a meal.
No, I'm not.
Listen,
all I have is first world problems. Yeah, you're correct.
And the sad thing is, when I started this video, you are like so many other sisters out here who are going to die alone because you're too stubborn. You're too stubborn to stop fighting. You're emotionally constipated, and all you know is how to fight. You might as well put Oprah Winfrey. I had to fight all my life. That's where you guys are comfortable. You're comfortable in the struggle. You've made peace with the problems. It's a badge of honor. And guess what? You got nothing. You make a good living. Great. You're in a house by yourself. No one's sharing your life. You're 30 now. Eventually you'll be 40. And when you're 40, it's finished. You won't have the opportunity you got right now. And if you don't stop fighting, go ahead, pick your burial plot out by yourself, die alone. Make peace with it, Valentine's Day, and everything else, because it's not going to be fixed. Because if every black man married every black woman right now, there'd still be 2 million more of you left. There is not a man for every woman. And the kind of men you want, the men that make a certain amount of money or more, are rare. And they are not going to fight you. They're not even going to debate you. They're going to get what they want because they can. You won't get what you want. And that's sad.
No, I agree with that. I'm not gonna disagree with that.
Then go to therapy, sis.
No, I mean I do go. I've been to therapy before, so that's something.
Okay, you've been to therapy before, but okay, I don't understand why you ladies say that. You've been. It ain't working. Mm-hmm. This interaction proves that it's not working. You didn't take any accountability on anything.
Yeah, I've taken some levels of accountability from some of the issues that I've had.
I'm talking about in this conversation. When I tried to get you to take accountability for something you pushed until I had to go there. Go back and rewatch this segment and you will see the comment section when people are responding. They're responding just to me and you talking. The women are responding. The men are responding. Get rid of the angry or the pejorative or whatever and just get down to the point. Man, you're a professional, educated, attractive woman. There's no reason you should be chronically single.
I wouldn't say I'm chronically single. I'm just
chronically unmarried. How about that? Single means this: unmarried. Yeah. You had a 2-year relationship with a man who was a high earner, and you did not want to be flexible.
Yeah. But I was young. I didn't, I needed to finish school.
How young were you?
Huh?
How young were you?
I was 24 and I was finishing my last year of college during the time when he asked me to leave.
But understand, the 24, I'm talking to the 30-year-old woman who's saying right now, I would throw all my career away if I had a man who was making enough money I can have kids. The thing you valued so much, you don't even get that big of a shit about.
Yeah.
See,
well, and
then it mattered. But here's a lot of things. A lot of black women have been programmed with fear. Mm-hmm. Fear in scarcity is what motivates you guys. Let me go get this degree. I can't go move with him to medical school because somewhere in your mind, this was going on. Because if I do that and it doesn't work, I don't have a degree. I'm in a foreign country and I may have babies. I'm completely vulnerable. I can't do that. So I got to take care of myself, put on my shield, my armor, and protect myself, and cut off a 2-year relationship with a man who obviously cares about you on the chance that it falls apart. But guess what? Who walks away from relationships 80% of the time, divorce or not? Ladies do. Women do. You are the reasons relationships fail, not us.
Yeah.
Fear. And if you don't check that at 24, you had another one for a year and another one for 9 months. And I'm going to assume that both of those had a similar through line. You left both guys. They didn't leave you.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I did leave both of those guys.
Exactly.
I did break up with them. I'm not gonna, yeah.
So how can a guy who does not know you? Because you're not special, man.
Yeah, it's true.
None of you guys are special. This is damn near clinical. And unfortunately, being a professional, technical woman is not a death sentence to a white woman, Hispanic woman, Asian woman, Middle Eastern woman, but it is damn near that for a black woman. Why? It's not the college, the degrees, whatever. It's our culture and the way you guys approach men. We are optional. We are unnecessary. You had a man that was going to medical school. You could have gone to school where he was at.
Yeah, but
if you wanted to make it work, are you telling me there's not a way to make that work?
How the situation was set up, it probably wouldn't have been a way to make it work. Because he would end up failing out of it anyway. But
you couldn't know that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known at the time.
Right. So if there's a way to make it, see, so in your mind it's like, well, see, I avoided that error because he failed out anyway. All right.
Yeah.
Therapy. Because here's the thing. In Seattle, when you said there are not enough high earning, Seattle is one of the most target rich areas.
This is the best dating scene I've ever been in my life.
And you're okay, but no offense, ma'am, but dating is only great with an outcome. So, and it's the best dating scene, and no offense, you're still failing at it. You're not getting the outcome. Yeah. The outcome you want is not to date.
To marry, yeah, I get that.
If dating someone doesn't end in marriage, it's a failure.
Yeah, I know.
It's not an insult. I've dated plenty and it failed. But the thing is, you have to stop but when you have relationships, you leave, you break. I need to go ahead and send your high earning ass an invoice because this is what I get paid for.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no damn reason you should be by yourself. But it's not a huh?
It's a choice that I chose for myself. It wasn't I push people away less than Lim leaving. I'm just gonna be honest.
I know. It's just not a choice. It's not a choice. You sabotage stuff. That's not a choice.
Yeah.
Because if I asked you why you chose to sabotage, what would you tell me?
The last guy I left because I did not want to be in a long distance relationship. He got. Were
you long distance to begin with?
No, it was 9 months. It was 9 months of us being here, and then he.
You don't want to be vulnerable and committed and dependent upon something. The funny thing is, the very thing you want, you're afraid of. You don't want to have to depend on a man making all the money, and you got babies and dependent on them. So that's why I said, if I asked you why you ran, you couldn't tell me, and you just proved it. You can't tell me. That's why you broke up with the first one, second one, third one. So don't complain about the men under earning, because the men who can pay the cost to be the boss, you're terrified of. Therapy or this. Do you like dogs or cats?
I'm not an animal person. I don't.
Well, you're gonna need something that's gonna be able to let people know when you explain. Excuse me. Listen, you're gonna need something to let people know when you're in there dead and stinking.
No, I don't think that.
You're going to need something. Because, okay, you're in Seattle. There's a big Asian population. Look up Kodokoshi. It's going on in Korea and Japan right now. It's the phenomenon of people dying alone. All right. So you're going to need something to alert people before you start to bloat and smell.
No, I don't think.
Okay, you can. If you're by yourself, Who's going to know if you fall and hurt yourself? If you do something, you go. All right, you're still fighting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna slap the shit out. I'm gonna slap the shit out of you and bid you a good night. She was getting turned on.
All right, guys, that's going to be the ending of the video. This is a great video and a great breakdown. I want you guys to please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you guys haven't already, and turn on post notifications. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.